Hello, Vlogalogue. I'm sad. I decided to watch the SpaceX launch, which I haven't done before, but I was like, oh, they're going to do that thing where they try and land the recovery thing on the barge, and it's going to be awesome. And it wasn't, so I'm sad. But what are we talking about today? We're talking about teams and whether we like teams. And Alex, it was entertaining watching Alex's video because he kept sort of alluding to sort of like pair programming, which is a big thing in some programming circles. And kind of the idea is that you have one person code and the other person kind of watch and say, yeah, have you thought about it? And then you kind of take turns as to who's driving the actual coding. And the idea is that you end up being more productive because you catch the stupid mistakes that any individual would write on their own. I've never been good with teams, and I attribute that to my own failing. I see that as a failing in myself. Granted, like, I think everyone has probably had the experience in high school or the kind of equivalent in your area of getting assigned a group project and being the only person who seems to care, or not being that person. Perhaps you're the person who's like, hey, Joe's gonna work hard on it, so but I've always found that in those types of cases, when you're dealing with people who have kind of a very different set of investment, I tend to be the person who's like, guys, we got it, fine, I'll just do it. But when you have people who have kind of a different level of investment in what you're doing, then groups tend to be very, very iffy. This is less of an issue, I think, once you get into college or you get into the working world. Then you're working with teams of people, and you've got people of completely different skill sets, but it's all, we're all employed by the same company. We all want to get the project done, and so sometimes it's easier to say, okay, well, you can handle the documentation for this project, and you can handle the implementation, and you can handle talking to the clients of the thing, and whatever. And so the excuse of just, the people don't care, and then I always get stuck with doing the work, doesn't necessarily apply in those sorts of situations. But I think at least for me, there's a bit of a holdover of just not working well in groups. I've found that in trying to work directly with people, I get frustrated because usually there's a difference in skill set or in the level of kind of domain knowledge, the understanding of the particular project that you're working on, which means that there's kind of one person who tends to know a lot more, and there's one person who's just trying to catch up, and then it feels like you're slowing the competent person down because it's becoming more of a teachable moment type of situation than actually being productive. Whereas, and I've been on kind of both sides of that, and in each case, I'm like, I'd really prefer to just be able to work on this on my own, and then get something working, and then explain it, and kind of walk you through it. Or if I'm the less competent person, like, can I like try and figure this out, and at least get a chance to formulate the right questions to ask, so that I'm not wasting the other person's time, because then I feel self-conscious about that. I get nervous about asking stupid questions. And I think to some extent that's kind of, I blame the internet and asynchronous communication and texting and stuff. We're so used to now being able to say, I don't need to prepare. I don't need to be able to speak spontaneously and come up with questions off the top of my head. I can go ahead and think about what it is that I want to ask and Google questions and make sure that it's not a stupid one. And I think that kind of carries over. But I think that the teamwork is certainly valuable and important, and that if we become the sorts of folks who are just not happy to work with others, it has a negative impact both on productivity and on kind of our own psyches. So it's something that I need to work on, at least. Those are my thoughts. I'm just going to go mourn the loss of a unmanned resupply mission now. So I will talk to you soon, Vlogalogue. Bye.